Hi everyone and welcome to my tutorial how to crochet the letter A. It's pretty easy and if you follow the diagram, follow the numbers, you start at the top, and in my tutorial I use chainless single crochet. There is a link in the description bar how to do this stitch if you haven't done it before. You can use chains as well. And I start with making 8 chainless single crochet, but the amount is not so important here because you can change the size. The important thing is that you follow the shape basically. So once you have the desired length where it says start to 1, you basically go back and do a few slip stitches to turn the work. This is just to move to where you need to be, and then you continue making chainless single crochet. So doing chainless single crochet, you're going to follow now from where it says 2, so you basically did from start to 1 and then you slip stitch back where it says 2, and 3 is basically all the way down to the bottom, and then 4 is making the loop, but the loop you're doing it all in one go, and then you just have to basically physically fold it across. So you're doing everything in one go. You don't actually stop and attach the yarn. So you just do as many chainless single crochets that you need to be able to fold it across where you see 3, 4 and 5. So depending on what yarn you're using and what sort of hook you're using depends how long you have to use it. And while you're going, you can see if it's enough for you to start folding it. So it's not enough yet, so I have to keep going a bit more. And once you have the fold, you then crochet 6, which is back up again. So then you can attach that where it says 6 to the very first shape that you made where it says 1, basically, just to attach it. So where it says 6 and 1, that's where you attach it. That's what I'm doing now, and then you have to go back again and do slip stitches, but you have to bring, because you're doing chainless single crochet, you have to bring both cords with you, because you're going to need that cord when you get to the bottom of where it says 6, where you're just going to continue doing the rest of the 7 basically. So what you're doing now when you're going down, you're actually doing 7. So you slip stitch down and you bring both cords with you. So it will be a little bit thicker, but you need that cord to crochet around. So when you do chainless single crochet, you crochet around the cord, and it's much neater than doing chains. It's a technique that's often used in Irish crochet, and that's how they also get so many of the different shapes they're doing in Irish crochet, because they can fold and do things like here I created the letter A, but you can fold it and make other letters and other motifs as well. So now I'm just seeing how much further I need to go down, because when I reach where it says 3, that's where I then need to just continue crocheting the rest of the 7 to make that second foot of the A. So I'm just checking my work, and I have to fold it over to see that. There, I'm folding it over. So now I'm basically seeing, okay, I just need to make that foot now, the rest of 7 basically. So now I need to continue crocheting chainless single crochet for a little bit longer, and then you just match that the length of that foot is as long as the first one you made. So just checking that they're the similar length. And when I'm happy that they're the same length, I then start slip stitching back up the foot. So I'm just going to do a few more chainless single crochet, and then I start slip stitching back up again. I'm going to slip stitch everywhere I haven't slip stitched. So because we slip stitch down where it says 6 and the beginning of the 7, I slip stitch there. I'm going to slip stitch the rest of the work as well, and that's to give it strength, and if not, it's just too floppy. So you slip stitch all the way around where it says 8, then 9, and then 10, and then you can also slip stitch back up 4, 5, and when you do the when you up where it says 5, you can actually fasten then to that foot so that it doesn't actually move around. So then you actually complete the A, and then you can continue up where it says 6, but you slip stitch basically back up again. Then you can slip stitch where it says 2 and 1 back to start if you want to. But once you've finished slip stitching, some of you work back to where it says 3. If you don't want to go back up 6 again, you don't have to. You just see how your work looks. I slip stitch everything. So what you also can do, because this is the second A that I made, and I used a different yarn this time. But my first one, the first one I made was a bit more floppier. So then I thought, to make it a bit stronger, I'm going to slip stitch the outside of it. So you can actually slip stitch, and also when you fasten and weave in the ends, then you can also make it stronger because the threads go back into the work, and you actually shape it then as well. You shape it by the way you weave in the ends. I'm fast forwarding the last few slip stitches that I'm making. So it's easier actually to follow the diagram that I made, and then depending a little bit on what yarn you're using and how big you want the letters, or the letter A, depends how many slip stitches you need to do, because that's basically just to add padding to the work. That's all that it is. So now I'm slip stitching everything because it strengthened my work, but depending on what yarn you're using, you might not have to do that. Or you might have to do it more than what I'm doing it. You might have to go over it again with slip stitches. So here I'm just going to weave in the end real quick, and that's the end result. So I'm quite happy with that. It was a good yarn to use for this purpose. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. And please like, share and subscribe, and I'm gonna get started making the other letters of the alphabet. Bye!